Welcome to Real Talk with Real Fit Pros, where we dive into everything fitness, business, and mindset. I'm your host, Jonathan Loudermilk, here to bring you raw, unfiltered conversations that will help you level up in life and in business. So kick back, relax, enjoy the show, and let's go get what you're worth. Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Real Fit Pros. It's your boy, Jonathan Loudermilk, your host with the most, and I've got the boys with me again for episode number 2, Josh Riggs and Andrew Carlson. We've got a damn good episode for y'all today. We're going to be breaking down the impact of VR and how it's entering and impacting the fitness space. We're going to be talking about the viral food combo that's taking over TikTok by storm. And we're also going to be talking about the Olympics and all the controversies surrounding the boxing, to say the least. So you picked a damn good episode to tune into. But before we get started, if this is your first time tuning in, just kick back, relax, enjoy the show. Your gift to us is that you're taking time out of your busy day in between clients to invest in yourself by listening to this podcast. However, if this is your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth, your umpteenth time, you know what I need you to do. I need you to like, I need you to subscribe, tag us on the social medias. You can even send this directly to a Fit Pro that needs to hear this episode today. Once again, this supports the channel, but more importantly, it supports the mission that we're on, which is to help all of our brothers and sisters get what they're worth in every area of their life. With that being said, let's get the show going. How are you doing today, Josh and Andrew?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited.
I love the energy. I'm gonna need you to tone down, Josh.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I am so tired.
I'm gonna need you to calm down, man. Like, just bring it down a couple octaves.
Yeah, don't worry. I can do that. I can chill. I'll just lean back and chill a little bit.
What about you, Andrew?
Fantastic.
Just so y'all know, Andrew moved to the Philippines and never told anybody. Just like straight up, just in the cover of night, just moved everything. Now he's
I told my parents, okay? I didn't tell no one. But...
Well, that's nice of you to do that, at least. But for the rest of us that you left out in the cold, we had to find out the hard way. Just like, I don't know. Oh, yeah, I'm in the Philippines. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I love the fact that you even have like that backdrop behind you, so we couldn't even tell you're in a different spot. Like, it was just like, from us, it was just, there he is again.
Dude, I straight up, so I'm not going to get too much off topic because I'm sure people listening are like, get to the point. Well, anyway, I got to tell this. So I reconnect with Andrew and I'm talking to him and it's like nothing but black and I'm pretty sure he's in the back of a taxi cab or something. And I'm like, Andrew, blink twice if someone has taken you. I straight up thought he got kidnapped. I was like, what? Where are you? He's like, he's being all vague and cryptic too. Like, wouldn't tell me like certain things. I was like, what the fuck is going on, dude?
Listen, we were out. I didn't want to be in the bar where I was like, all right, let's talk to this phone call. I sat in the car. It was just 3 a.m, okay?
It was sketchy as hell, man. But once you said you moved to the Philippines, then it made sense, you know? It's important data to share. Anyway, well, we're not here to talk about Andrew's crazy life choices that he's making over there. We're here to talk about VR entering the fitness space. So, Josh, I know you've been, like, keeping your thumb on this, dude. So, like, dude, what's going on in that space?
So, there's a company called FitXR that we all know about VR and AR and AI. It's all over the trends right now. And this isn't the first time someone's done something like this. Like, they've had, VR boxing games and stuff like that. But FitXR is kind of changing it up, and they're going to make fitness studios in a virtual realm. So you can literally go to a studio, interact with other people in real time, and do different kind of workouts. So you can go to like a boxing studio, a sculpt studio, hit, dance. They even break into the martial arts where you can learn different kind of like martial arts like Muay Thai and boxing, things along those lines, which is really awesome. Like, as a consumer, I am super stoked. This sounds awesome. As a gym owner, this sounds terrifying.
Yeah. So I got some questions, man. So how does this company work? Do they just make the games and you buy the games from them, or how's it work?
So this is still in development. It's not even out yet. This is something to come. I imagine it's going to be like everything else where it's going to be a subscription of some sort. You pay X amount, and you like get access to these studios and join in.
And then are they going to provide their own instructors?
Yes, they did say they're going to provide their own instructors. They're going to provide their own like servers, everything along those lines. So it's all in house. So it looks like, I'm not entirely sure. From what it looks like, is it's not something you can get with any VR. As of right now, it looks like it's going to be something where they sell their own headset, and you have to get their headset to do it. There's still like it's still in development by a lot, but I can say that as a gym owner, there is some things that you definitely want to like keep in mind. Oh, also it's supposed to link with the metaverse too. So the Facebook
yeah,
metaverse.
like Facebook and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be there. So virtual retail, basically, virtual real estate.
Well, it's probably going to be an Oculus then, I would think.
Probably. I imagine, like I said, it's still in development. From what I've read, it looks like it's launching as a solo thing and then going to branch outwards as it goes.
Yeah, because what I'm already thinking about is like, do they have like partnership opportunities? So like a gym that doesn't want to have to invest the capital and the time and honestly the blood, sweat, and tears like putting this together, something like that, they could just white label potentially through like company.
That's a really good idea. Like that would be a good perspective, and obviously, hopefully, someone on their team will. If you do that, my man Jonathan here needs some royalties from this idea.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my point with it is like, I've been in fitness 15 years professionally, 16 years professionally. So like I've seen, and there's a lot of trends I've seen come and go. And once again, you go to some people been in the industry for 25, 30 years. They've seen even more. And here's the thing, the trends come and go, but like you said, Josh, at the end of the day, like that connection, that relationship, like dude, there's nothing that like AI cannot replicate that. Like we're so far beyond like the super nerds out there. They're like, we won't even need women eventually. We're just going to make robots, right? But there's that human component to it at the end of the day where it's like, yeah, you could give someone like the best VR program and support in the world, but like they still have to put it on and do it. And that's where that human component. So as you're sharing this, like I'm thinking about back when I ran gyms, I would lean into it. Mm-hmm. I would go, hey, here's your programming you do with us, 1, 2, 3 times a week, whatever that is. And then part of what you do outside is I would definitely fit that in as part of like their fitness homework to do outside of those training regimens, right? Because as you're saying, I'm not really hearing too many weight resistance or weight training based programs that are in VR. And plus, we're way behind that becoming something that's functional with the clunkiness of the headset and all that with lifting weights actually. So that's why it's all cardio based now, because that's simple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that is something I was kind of thinking about too, is like as a gym owner, obviously you can't fight these trends. Like you can't fight technology.
It's like
so you kind of got to lean into it.
Bro, it's like yelling at the ocean.
Yeah.
Stop waves. It's like
stop it. You definitely got to lean into it. But I will say that they did get the one aspect that no one else has yet, and I've said this 100 times. You're in the relationship business. You're not in the fitness business. And anyone who played World of Warcraft right now knows you can have really good and like really deep relationships with people that you've never even met through a virtual avatar. So I will say that is the one and only caveat that they're getting right that no one else has yet.
That is pretty cool. Like last time I played with it was 2020, and we bought a couple Oculuses because the pandemic and like we couldn't do anything. So like I bought a bunch of VR games, and me and Renee were playing. And there's one game, I think, or 2 games specifically. One of them's that Barbarian Conan game where it's like Gladiator. That one, dude, you will work up a sweat because like you're like chopping and swinging. I can't tell you how many times I punched the wall by accident. I was like, fuck, broke the controller. You can't see anything. And then the other one was this Devil Dragon game. Dude, I was sweating my ass off after the first level because you're just constantly throwing punches and moving. It's definitely a fun way to mix up your routine if you're just tired of doing the mundane, regular, go get on a treadmill or go run outside.
Yeah, and the other cool news about this is there's far less controversy with virtual boxing than there is in the Olympics right now. So what's wrong with that?
Well, not unless like a guy knocks out a woman, and then we're right back to square one.
True.
I knocked my wife out in Wii Sports, ban me.
My bad.
I got her. Well, dude, so all right, so they're infusing that into VR. Like, what other insights are you seeing coming from that side?
So from the VR side of things, I would also, the other insight I would like to say for this is something that isn't really something I was thinking about when I first started reading this headline. If this is the trend that they're going down, what?
Yeah, keep going. Sorry, I just had a thought. You know me.
If this is the trend they're going down, like virtual studios and stuff like this, have you guys seen, like in the mall and stuff, they have actual like virtual reality like room things where people can go in and they can be in it together. I'm kind of curious if any gym owner is going to take this concept and like bring it into an actual box.
I would.
That's a great question, dude. There's actually a VR place not too far from us, and we went to one time, and you pay, I don't know, $20 an hour and play the games or whatever. I don't know how well that would translate to the gym. That's great.
I mean, if you look at it, and they already are paying people to actually do classes, that reduces the need for people, and you can consolidate your staff. So you buy 20 headsets, you have it in there. Somebody from the front desk will go polish, like wipe it clean, but you pay for the subscriptions. If it's like what, $15 a month, $12 a month, you're still going to save in the long run from a cost staffing perspective.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
That's what I was kind of thinking.
If you did it like, did y'all ever experience cardio theater?
Oh
yeah. I never did it, but I know what you're talking about.
Bro, coolest fucking thing ever. I don't care. Like, out of all the things fitness came up with, that was definitely the coolest. Like, I remember I ran this one gym that had a cardio theater, and I used to love going in there, like, on my breaks and just watching a movie and walk on the treadmill for an hour or something. But I could definitely, Andrew, your point, I could see a gym structuring it that way, and holy cow, dude, that could solve the perpetual issue of Group X instructors.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Holy shit.
Well, the other thing that you're combating, though, from like a people perspective, is that just like treadmills back in the day, or just like any other home-based thing, you still have to get people to actually do it. And people that are still going in to get actual training still aren't necessarily doing it because they do it in the gym and then they go home and they eat like crap and then they come back and go, I'm not losing weight.
Yeah. That's a great point, man. Dude, I totally see that now. You could build out a whole GX room with just VR sets and have come as you go come in there. It's like the Group X where there's a couple of them where you go in and you push the video screen and it will play basically a video instructor, but this is the same thing, but even more individualized for each person.
Yep. Yeah. And if you think about it, if this is the process they're going through, just imagine when they get to the point where like each person could have their own progress track, like their own workout in it, their own like there's a lot of potential here.
Yeah, and then I know the headsets are getting better too. Like eventually they'll have them like glasses like I'm wearing, and they're still a little clunky, but it's not too bad. It's not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah.
Well, here's another thing I thought of. So with this whole metaverse, like kind of like being formed as we're watching or as we're living our lives right now, there's a lot of potential for people that are willing to go in there first and help navigate. Once again, it's meant to build relationships with people. Like, I'm just thinking, like, if I was still a trainer and I wanted to figure out a way to network with people that are open-minded to online fitness, I would totally join one of those groups you're talking about and just participate and start networking and let people know I happen to be a personal trainer and I just do this because I enjoy it. You would crush it. Think about that. If you were the only trainer in like a Zoom room or not a Zoom room, but a VR room of 50 or 100 people and you showed up consistently, holy shit, that's the new gym floor.
Oh, yeah. Cold leaves for days.
Dude, that's the gold nugget because you're already hanging out with them. You're building rapport. And it's like, hey, I could use help. It's like, well, I have a program for that. Just send them the link.
Yep. Which in this world, eventually will just be like, here, click here.
Yeah, man. I know I'm definitely going to be getting into it to the stuff that we're doing. But like now that you bring that up, like, dude, that's the golden egg right there.
100%. 100%.
We're gonna get some of our people to do that and test it. I have to test this now.
Someone, please branch out. This is far better than the Tinder dating strategy.
Can you think of any reason why it wouldn't work though? Like I can't.
No, I think it would work great.
It's the same thing as going to the gym and networking that way, except you can do it from the convenience of your own home. You can probably go to a couple classes a day. Imagine if you're doing 2 or 3 classes a day, shaking hands with 50 to 100, 200 people a day.
Gonna make a splash somehow.
Yeah, you're paying 15. Oh my God. This is ridiculous, man. I remember the days when I started, I got given a phone book. That's what I was given. Hey, I'm ready to build my business. I just got my college degree. I'm ready. All right, Jonathan, here you go. Thump. Call the Yellow Pages. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Now we got this stuff. Ain't life great?
Oh yeah,
Life is great.
And that's what my problem with some of the people these days do with the attitudes they have. You know? They still think like, oh, you know, I just can't, or it's too hard. It's like, you have no idea. You have all these tools that allow you to work at such an insane effectiveness, and you won't even show up and put yourself out there. It's just crazy to me, dude, because once again, maybe I'm old. I'm now that guy. I just turned 39, and now I'm the old guy going, those yipper snappers over there. Like, I'm that guy now. But I get it. Because when I started during the 2008 recession, dude. I came out of college like, this is what adulting is like. That was my experience. I was like, it's fucking rough out here. I should have been happy that last senior year in school instead of wishing that time away. I should have just been holding on to it, man. But I'm grateful that I came in that environment because it built a foundation, dude. And that's why the time we're in now doesn't scare me.
Yeah.
It's no different.
Yep. If you start when it's harder, you'll excel when it's easier.
Yeah, man. And just like dating, dude, you mentioned Tinder. Back in my day, you had to get drunk at a bar and work up the balls to go talk to somebody. That's how you got a date. Now it's just, swipe. There you go.
Yeah.
And it's just, if you take that old school work mentality and you apply it to this, you literally can't be stopped. That's insane. Anyway, that's crazy about the VR, dude. I had no idea. That's insane. We're going to have to definitely do some experiments with that.
I'm excited for it. Like I said, as a consumer, I'm excited.
Yeah, dude. And you know, with that being said, dude, so I think we can definitely do some trainings on that. The other thing I want to talk about here today too, man, is obviously the Olympics that's been going on. And then we chat a little bit before we started doing the podcast, but dude, what a shit show this year.
Yeah. It's been more like I can't remember a time in my life where there was so much issues with the Olympics.
I'm embarrassed. I am. It's just this is where we're at. Like, this is just pathetic, right? Like, I'm not even talking about the opening ceremony. That's a whole nother conversation. What I'm specifically referring to is how much this like woke ideology politics is now literally ruining everything that was good, right? Like, now it's ruining the Olympics. Now, one of the things that they put up there, me and my wife were joking about the other day, was like, everybody has an Olympic body. Y'all see that?
Wait,
y'all
what?
See that shit?
What?
Yeah. Well, what they did was they showed all the obscure athletes. Like, dude, I'm talking like a shot putter or like the women's hammer throw. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, you're built for certain sports. Like, yeah,
right.
And some people, like, for some sports, look like gods, and other ones look like dads. You know, it's like that one, the pistol dude that went out there, got second place, and ended up stealing all the glory.
He didn't even need any kind of special glasses. He just had his regular glasses on. He was like,
See, and to me, that is what the spirit of the Olympics is the average person. Like, and by the way, his story is fascinating. He got into shooting because he was going through a divorce, man. He just wanted to blow off some steam. That's it. And now he's just up here to get damn silver in the Olympics. Like, that's what the Olympics is about, is that average person. Because most of them are not like sponsored athletes or professional athletes. They're like regular people that work regular jobs that just train every minute that they have to master this discipline. And to have that taken away because now it's being made about politics or about that Amani boxer that they still haven't quite figured out. Is she a male or a female? There's like opposing data. And by the way, if y'all haven't watched that, the whole controversy around it is there's apparently a female boxer that's actually a male. What's being said is that she actually has a male chromosome. Other people are saying that's not the case, and it's elevated testosterone. That's where it's all over the place. But this woman had hit her opponent so hard that she immediately quit. Like I said, she'd never been hit that hard in her life, and that's where this controversy of transgender sports and all that stuff come in. But dude, I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on this. I've just been thinking about this past weekend, just going, what a shit show.
Yeah, I'm sure this is no surprise to you because I live under a rock. I didn't know about this at all until you said something about it. So this was news to me. I had heard a little so I can't touch on that specifically, but what I can talk about is the fact that even someone like me who doesn't pay attention to anything at all, who lives under rocks, I have never seen so many people upset about so many random things ever in the Olympics. Like normally the worst case you'll be like, I can't believe France took us and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Why? What is happening? Why are we sitting here arguing about like how it started or the gender of someone? Like I'm so confused on why. I don't even know who won anything. Like my newsfeed, like before I could go on my newsfeed and be like, oh cool, we got gold on something. I don't see any of those posts. I literally just see people complaining about random things about the Olympics now.
Right.
So I need someone to tell me who's actually winning. So if there's someone who actually talks about that.
So if whoever's listening to this, if y'all actually know about this Amani man, woman, I don't even know. Because here's the other thing. I literally saw, I shit you not, 2 posts back to back. And these weren't people I knew. These were like official pages. One of them was pointing out data that was saying that Amani is a woman. The other one was saying the opposite. I literally saw 2 posts back to back that were contradicting one another with like absolute conviction. And that's where it's gotten crazy, dude. That's where I stopped talking about it on social media because like I can't speak on something if I don't know all the facts, right? So that's what's been most frustrating to me about this is like it's just basically war clickbait, just baiting people that are already mad and looking for excuse to fight. And it's taking it away from the people up here that are, battling for their sport. My only 2 cents I put out there is like, if this is the case that you have a chromosome that makes you a male, my opinion is that you shouldn't be allowed to compete against other biological females. Like, to me, it's just common sense. Like, that's how people get hurt. It's the reason that, like, I was talking with my wife this weekend about this. Like, remember back in the 90s with the home run? Like, Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa and all those guys were battling it out for the home run record. Well, that was back when Mark McGwire was taking steroids and before that, like, got outed. And eventually he got caught and he took away his record because he got it based on being on steroids. So that's my point with this is, like, I don't give a shit if it's elevated testosterone or whatever the fuck it is. It puts you in the same category of having that competitive advantage that's not natural. And that's why that should be eliminated. Or if it's a natural cause, like for this person, then you just create a separate category. I don't understand why people are so mad about that.
Or at the end of the day, if it's going to be something that's regulated, then have the same standards between every single country and every single thing. So that way you say, if you're competing in the Olympics, this is what it's going to be. So prepare for it and everyone's happy. Like whatever the thing is, because apparently, according to like the IBA, the International Boxing Association, she was disqualified
Right, for
from
failing
doing some
the
things.
for
The
failing
test.
the gender test, and
So if
that
you
was the
fail
whole
that
point.
test, then that should just be the same thing that carries over to the Olympics. Or if the Olympics is like, I don't care, then it should just, the other associations should just abide by that if they want to qualify for the Olympics. So like,
Right.
just I think what it comes down to is just a lack of communication, but probably done purposefully because the media likes to do what the media does and kind of separate everyone.
Well, dude, here's the reason I like talking about this with fitness people is like we're science-based thinkers.
Right.
Like everything with the human body is science-based. So like when you're thinking about this from just the scientific kinesiology aspect of this, it doesn't make sense to let them fight.
Right.
I had some guy on the internet like, well, what if I'm like 200 pounds heavier than you and I fight you? Is that a disadvantage? I go, yeah, it's called weight classes, you dumbass. Like,
Yes.
I'm not gonna fight Brock Lesnar.
But it could be fun.
No.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not fighting Thor. Like, I'm just not
Bro,
gonna
I'm the size of Brock Lesnar's skeleton. Like, and I'm about 200 pounds. So I'm not a tiny guy, but I'm about the size of his skeleton. That's how big he is, right? But that's my point with all this. And I'm looking forward to the day to where we can get past this bullshit and get back to like just focusing on getting along better as people and quit arguing over like my identity and my feelings. There's no room for that shit, dude. When people are focused on themselves, everyone else are the people that get hurt by it. And that's all I hear is me, 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 me. It ain't about you. Life's not about us. It's about other people. Our job is to go out there and serve and help people, not make it about us. So anyway, that's my soapbox for talking about the Olympics and all that. And then we're not even but like, what, a couple weeks in?
Oh, I didn't even realize the Olympics started. I was just sitting over here and all of a sudden everyone was like, the Olympics. And I was like, what? When did this happen?
Dude, the only reason I'm paying Peacock for the Olympics is it gives us entertainment on the weekends when we're watching our daughter. Because, like, dude, it ain't much you can do when you got a little toddler running around. So we just play the Olympics on the background while we're hanging out with her. That's the only reason. But anyway, well, dude, I want to talk about what you found out, Andrew.
Well, yeah, it's an international sensation. So since we're talking about the Olympics and the international thing, it's like this international TikTok sensation that's taking the world by storm. I don't even know why or how I stumbled upon this, but apparently there is a viral coffee drink where you take coffee and you mix it with spring onions.
What?
To drink it. Yeah, I was like, huh? So just think about that. So you make your latte, but then you mix it with the spring green onions. Just
why?
Throw it on in there.
Why? Because it's awful.
Because it's going viral.
So hold on. So the whole point of doing this is because it's fucking awful. It's kind of like the ice challenge. Like, it sucks, but I'm gonna do it.
Well, back in the day, so like according to Chinese traditions, or at least I don't want to say traditions, in the Chinese community, there is this thing called a dark cuisine, where what they do is they try to make the most disgusting combinations, like blue Kool-Aid and chicken wings, to purposefully prevent them from having an appetite. So they'll consume something that's so disgusting that it will make them lose their appetite as a way to suppress their appetite and diet from overeating. Because like in America, all we do is we just take Ozempic or we take a GLP-1 and we just like, hey, medicine. But over in China, they're like, well, if you're getting fat, they're just going to do things that are disgusting. And America doesn't have that kind of, discipline to actually cause them to lose their appetite. So the newest one is coffee and spring onions.
Yeah.
So people all around the world are just doing this now, just cause.
Yeah, because it went viral on TikTok, and they're all going, "You don't need to try it; it's so gross." And everyone else is going, "But I want to try it."
Fucking Tide Pods all over again.
It really is. So only in America would you be like, okay, so this other place is doing this because it's so bad it makes you not want to eat. We're gonna do it because it's funny.
So, dude, I have a question I've always wanted to ask, and you two are going to be the beneficiaries of this. How do trends get started?
I've always wondered that too.
You ever think about that? Like, how does something become something? Like, where does it start? Like, who decides that this is the thing? Like, who decided that the? Go ahead.
It's just always about the most outrageous thing. If you study viral videos and you look at what's happening, the thing that causes people to click, whether it's like some kind of ASMR, like watching somebody eat food, which is disgusting, by the way.
Ugh.
Never do it. But it's how ridiculous can you be to grab somebody's attention and make it more ridiculous, which is why it continues to go up and up and up and up, and people are just sharing it out. And then the unfortunate thing, if you've heard any other controversies that we will save for the next podcast, just because, too much controversy in one podcast episode, it's too much. So I'll save that for the next time. But they are designed to actually target children, because the children are the people who share things. And the children are the ones that don't have that conscious brain, and they will continue to share it with their kids or their friends, and they'll basically say, hey, look at this really cool thing that this one person did. And, well, it goes viral. Because that's how, like, when I went viral in 2020, it wasn't for something cool. It was some kind of mind game. And it was so stupid. But my target demographic went from, like, 30s and 40s, what I wanted to target, down to 12 and 15-year-olds. And I was like, this sucks. But it's if you want to go viral, you target the kids who actually are on those apps all the time.
Oh God! So basically, that's how Mr. Beast built his empire.
That's what I was gonna say.
I want to add to this too. Something very I thought about this for a very long time, and this very phenomenon of having to constantly do things that are more outrageous so that you can keep getting views, blah blah blah. This is exactly how people like Jake Paul. Which one was who went to the Dead Forest? Which one was that? Was that Logan?
Oh, that was Logan Paul.
Logan. This is how that happened. Everyone gave him so much shit. I'm not condoning what he did. I want to make that very clear. Not condoning it. Not condoning it. But I get how it happened. Because think about it. His entire livelihood is based on views. And views are entirely dictated by the most outrageous thing you can do. So you get in this mindset of I have to do more, I have to do more, I have to do more. You're going to cross a line. It's not an if, it's when. You will cross a line. It's just a matter of when. So everyone gets so mad at all these creators because they do these outrageous things, but we're the one feeding it. We're the ones we set the trends. We tell them that's funny, and they have to go then do something even worse than that to keep our attention. So it's not a situation where it's well, they're just a good dude. They could be a good dude, but they still need to make a living, and that's how they make their living. So they have to keep doing it, and they will cross the line eventually.
So I get that. My question though is who decides what's cool and what's not though? I understand how things trend and become viral, but think about this. At some point, somebody decides. Only if. But my point is this. At some point, somebody decided that this woke stuff needed to be shared. Who decided that?
I kind of thought about that with words too. Who decided that we were going to use cool or sick and stuff?
Right.
How did that become?
And then slang terms. Who comes up with the term? For example, fleek. Still don't quite understand what the fuck that means, but I know it's a word. But who came up with it? Yeah, or cap. No, who came up with it? That's what I want to know. Who comes up with
some person?
How does that work?
Some person who didn't have imposter syndrome and said, "Fuck it, I'm going to go out there and start a trend." Because everyone else is I'm too afraid to post on social media. What if they did? And they're "Fuck it, let's go talk fleet." I don't know. But they'll just say it and they'll use it.
Somebody there was "Fuck it, no cap." And they're "What does that mean?" And then they explained it. And they're "Oh, that's the thing."
Shit. Yeah. And then they share it.
I still don't quite I still really want to discover the mystery of this because it just fascinates me, man. Just how stuff becomes what it is. Like
Mhm.
the viral, that makes sense. Like that makes sense to me. But that still doesn't determine whether it becomes like a cultural thing. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? But maybe it comes down to what you're saying, Josh, about how we the people vote. Like I think of like the Hot Tua girl.
Yeah,
You know what I
100%.
mean?
Like I
That
don't know
was
about
just
you
because
guys,
a
but I've
bunch of
seen that
men.
video.
Go
Yes,
ahead.
but I'm not. I'm sure I'm not alone in this. How many of us watched that video before it got big and was just like, oh, that's just another video? But then like it was everywhere, and like the like landslide of it being everywhere is what made it actually funny. Because I
Yeah.
remember seeing the video and it was like, oh, whatever. It's just that whatever. It seemed like every other video on the internet, and then like all the publicity behind it, like seeing it in the memes, all the backing, hear it over again, it made it
See,
funny to me.
see, that's what I mean is somebody took it and intentionally made it a thing. Because like you said, that like it was a hilarious clip for her, but like you said, it wasn't anything that different that girls don't say on those types of shows anyway, you know. But I agree with you. Like once people started making it a thing, like that's when I thought it was funny. I'll never forget one of my buddies like was posting a hawk to it, and then I saw like 10 or 15 other people. I was like, I actually put a post. I was like, who the hell is Hawk Tua? I thought it was like I didn't know what it was. It just people just kept saying Hawk Tua. So I was like, what is this? And then somebody shared it with me. I was like, oh shit, okay, that's what it is. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But isn't that fascinating though? Like how something
Oh yeah.
becomes a thing.
100%. And that's honestly like that's the magic sauce. If you can figure that out, like right now, the world currency is attention.
Yeah.
So if you figure out what that is, you're a millionaire overnight. Like you just need to crack that code. Because nowadays, like the real currency is eyeballs. If you can get the eyeballs, the rest follows.
I never
So,
thought we'd live in a world, dude, where that was the currency.
oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean? It's
100%.
wild, man.
Like if you think of what's his name, The Rock, and what's the other whiskey, McGregor. Like both of them, tequila and both of them, they're just like the alcohol is not even that good. It's the following they had was why they became billionaires overnight.
Right.
Like,
And I think that's a great point, man. Of like, I don't care who you are. I believe everyone has a personal brand.
mm-hmm.
Like even like
Mhm.
whether you're an entrepreneur or not. Like let's say you're an employee within another company, you still have your brand of who you are and how you operate. And for those of y'all that get intentional with it, that's where you're talking about, Josh, is where you can monetize that. And the cool part that I've learned too, man, ever since I've evolved, like not just being in fitness, like we've evolved over the last couple of years in the multiple industries, what's been cool to realize about that is business at the end of the day.
oh yeah,
And the reason I was able to make that leap was I started focusing on building like who am I as a person, not what I do, but who am I? What do I stand for? How do I operate? You know, what are my values essentially at the end of the day? And when I got clear on those and I built my following based on that, now it doesn't matter what product or service I do because people are bought into me versus when I first started out, I made it about the service because the truth is I wasn't confident enough to make it about me.
True.
I feel that. Yeah, 100%.
You know, so for y'all listening, bet on yourself and start showing up and building it about you. You know, you said it earlier, Josh, with overcoming imposter syndrome. You know, imposter syndrome never goes away. That's the damnedest thing about that. You just get better at dealing with it. And like you said earlier, Andrew, I was like, who creates the trend? You're like, dude, someone said fuck imposter syndrome and then went ahead and said what needed to be said and gave themselves permission, dude. And it reminded me of a buddy of mine, Jacob Staller, that put out a post basically saying the person that is less qualified than you but is doing what it is you want to do, the only reason they're there is because they are willing to believe in themselves. And I remember being in that spot. I remember being like, man, that guy's a joke, man. And once again, it was someone that was in a spot where I was, but I was more qualified. But once I got rid of those excuses and started doing the work and giving myself permission, which is the real thing I was fighting about, then I was able to start building something pretty cool.
Right.
Would y'all say that's been about y'all's experience too for the brands that y'all been building?
I think mine was a mixture of that and just blindly moving forward and not caring about the rest. Just like,
Right.
I truly believe my whole thing with success was like just being too dumb to realize that I was too dumb to worry about what I knew I was doing, and also too dumb to realize that I like anything sucked. I was like, huh. I guess working from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. is just how life is. We're just gonna do this. Okay, let's go.
Bro, that was me in 2008. I was like, sales is hard.
It's just there wasn't a like. I just wasn't smart enough to realize that this was hard. It was just like this is just how it is. We're just gonna keep going.
Dude, I love that, man. Well, dude, if you think about it, like, I can literally tell you, like, dozens of guys I hired over the years when I ran gyms, like, dumb as a box of rocks. But, dude, just willing to go after it and with utmost enthusiasm and optimism. And those guys would outperform the nerdy college guy I would hire like 9 out of 10 times because they had the right attitude and the right mindset with it.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and it's crazy, dude. And if you hire the right salesperson, that like, once again, like, there's like, it's weird. There's this. Have y'all ever heard of the fish hook when it comes to like learning and kind of ramping up to getting like at your peak state? Have y'all ever heard that before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna share for the audience anyway. So, the fish hook is when you first learn something, you learn just enough, and you're like, oh man, then you end up like you can sell the crap out of it, right? Because you're like, cool, I understand it, I'm passionate, I'm fired up. But what happens is you actually realize that you don't know what you don't know. You start learning some more, and then performance actually will drop down because you start overthinking stuff. You know, because now you understand more. So now there's more uncertainty and more questions versus going back to just being the dumb sales guy. Go, just tell me just enough to sell it. You know, but what happens though is if you work through that, you'll actually rise in performance on the other side. And I share that because I used to get so frustrated when I was bringing on new team members. I'd be like, it's time to go. Like, dude, why are you doing worse than what you were doing a couple weeks ago? Like, you were doing great, now you're doing worse. Like, what's going on? Well, now that I understand that, like, dude, this is just human behavior. Just something good to account for when you're going through it. And also, if you're going through something for the first time, give yourself some grace as you're going through it, because you're going to go through the fish hook process as well.
I have something to add to that real quick because I want to. This is a little bit of insight, and I love it because it was such a weird mind shift for me. So the way our sales process works is we bring them in, then they do another consultation, and during that consultation is typically where we make a supplement sell, right? I had one coach that had 100% close rate on supplements. 100% close rate. Everyone else was like 20. So I was like, man, what are they doing? So I sat down with him, like, so you're selling 100%. Like, that's awesome. And they're like, what do you mean? And I was like, everyone who comes in buys supplements. What are you doing? And like, there was an option for them not? I thought they had to have them for the program. Like, they're like, that was the difference. They were just like, I didn't know that they could not have them.
Oh man, let's go! Non-negotiable multivitamin, non-negotiable fish oil, non-negotiable protein. Let's go! Let's go!
I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. They have to have them. You're right. Go back out there. Just go back.
Yeah, man.
We never had this conversation. Yeah, I never said anything else. I was just like,
but isn't that something though? With the mentality, man.
It's like, I didn't know no was an option.
Oh, dude, that's badass, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And unfortunately, from that moment on, their sales went down because, like, then they had the options, fish hook. And I was like, for now on, every person walks through this door, I'm going to be like, no, they need this. There's this just is part of it.
Right. That's awesome, though, man. It's rare to find people like that. I hope you held on to them.
Oh, yeah. They're still the top performer at my other gym. So.
Yeah. That's badass, man. Dude, selling supplements was so easy, dude. I don't know why trainers have such a resistance to it. It's always some bullshit like, well, the product is shitty. Then find a good product.
Yeah, easy fix.
You know what I mean?
What are you using? Go sell that.
Right. It's like, look, they're going to get it whether they buy it from you or not. They might as well get it from you, and you get a commission for making it such an easy process for them to find the supplement that they needed.
Yeah.
And then they're going to thank you for it when they get results, and they'll keep buying it. I can't believe, like, there's so many trainers over the years, dude, that I had to, like, have that debate with. And I'm like, dude, it's really just like, you're just not comfortable with it. Let's have that conversation. Because that's way easier to help you. Like, dude, I'm just not comfortable doing that. Awesome. Let's talk about that versus, I just, And then the reason I started selling them was I had a client, I'll never forget, her name Joey Williams. What's up, Joey, if you still listening and hanging out after all these years? Well, anyway, she went and got a bunch of stuff from Walmart. Such a wonderful place to get your food from, right, Andrew? Anyway, she gets this protein and she gets creatine. Like, not even like the good creatine, like the fucking Walmart creatine at the end of the day. Anyway, she comes in like all fucking fired up, like ready to work out, Jonathan. I got my supplements. Let's go. And I pulled it out and I was like, this creatine, Joey? She's like, yeah. I go, oh, this is from Walmart of all places. Yeah. I was like, oh, see, you kept the receipt. That's fantastic. Take this shit back. She was like, why? I was like, because Joey, if you take this, you're gonna balloon up and you're gonna blame me. So take that shit back, and I'm gonna sell you the right ones to get. Since you're gonna get supplements. She goes, okay. And that was my first supplement client, and I was selling supplements ever since. And it was because, dude, she went out and bought it. Because at that point, I was like, I'm not comfortable. But then I realized I have to get comfortable, otherwise Joey's gonna fuck this up.
My first story was very similar. I had a client come in and they're like, what supplement should I take? And I was like, oh, this is what I take. Gave her a list. Went to GNC, and the GNC rep made more money from this person that I sent there than I did on the fitness cell. And I was like, I sold it. It was me. I did this. And from that moment on, I'm like, no, fuck that. I have it here. Like, right here. This is what you take.
It just makes sense at the end of the day,
Oh yeah.
What are your two cents, Andrew, Mr. Nutrition?
I mean, I made sure that supplements were included in my packages. They didn't have an option. I was like, if you want to get better, you're gonna have these supplements. You're gonna take them. You're gonna take ones anyway. Might as well utilize these ones that are actually high quality, because the ones you're gonna buy, you're gonna go for the lowest price, and it's not gonna be good for you. And you're not gonna get results, and then you're gonna blame me, and that's not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, something I just thought of that'd be smart to do. At least I think it's smart. We'll see if it's smart after I say it. What if you put together, like, once again, every trainer's got their 3 month, 6 month, 12-month packages, whatever. What if, say, for like a 6-month package, they put together a 6-month supplement transformation kit? And then that just is part of that package. Just all inclusive.
Should do it.
I'll test it and let you know.
Yeah, that's something else I would do. Because like the way I did it was I would sell them for training, right? Once they're on training, then we're doing onboarding, which is assessments and all those things. For me, during that assessment process is when I would prescribe them supplements, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I found is about 50% of the people who are brand new would get the supplements right away. The other 50% would get them at some point in the future. And just by presenting at the beginning of our journey together and instilling the importance of it, made it a lot easier to get them started. And then the way I would get them started from there is I would just set them up on auto shipping. So based on the frequency of them taking it, they would get tapped and then sent their next shipment based on what that is. And if I could get them the nutrition, and Andrew, I know you know this better than anyone. I knew as a trainer, if I could get the nutrition under control fast, it made my job easy when it came to the actual training part. So that's why I spent more time on the nutrition and setting up the expectations and kind of lifestyle guide for the eating side. So then I knew once I got that in place, all I got to do is make you laugh and kick your ass a couple times a week.
But what we really messed up was we didn't make them drink coffee with green onions. Like, that was the real
Dude, Andrew, what if you do that as a punishment? if you go, hey.
I think
if
that's
you don't-
called cruel and unusual punishment. You're gonna get sued.
No. You're presenting them with the option. You're basically saying, hey, if you do this, you're going to have the benefits. If you don't, what's the behavior or the thing that you're going to need to do to basically say, I'm never going to fuck up this bad ever again because I don't want to drink this. So you're giving them the option. The choice is in their court. They're either going to work out and eat right, or they're going to drink coffee with green onions.
I'm going to give you the best story that I've used for many years now that allows me to illustrate the spirit of that story, Andrew. So this goes back to when I think I was like 4 or 5, and my dad was basically doing bedtime, bath time routine with me and my sister, right? So he's trying to get my sister to take her medicine though before we go in, because I think we're both sick at the time. So actually, I go first. I'm telling a story. So we're going through, and he's trying to get me to take the medicine, and I'm like refusing. I'm just like, I'm not picking up what you're putting down, Daddy. I'm not taking that damn medicine. So then he ends up having to put me in a headlock, cock my head back, and force feed me the medicine. And my sister's watching this the whole time. Like, it's almost like watching a murder happen in front of her very eyes. I'm just getting manhandled and forced this. Anyway, this happens, right? So then he turns to my sister, and he looks at her because she wasn't one to take her medicine either. And he looked at her and he goes, all right, Brooke, do you want to do this the easy way? And he points out the spoon, or you want to do this the hard way? And he puts out his hand like, I'm going to fucking force this on you if you're going to have to. And my sister starts crying and goes, I'll do it the easy way, Daddy. And I know that story because my dad's told that story dozens of times. And I've used it till this day to go, do you want to do things the easy way, or do you want to do things the hard way? But either way, this has to get done for your benefit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you could have fun, though, with that black coffee. And what is it again that's in there?
Green onions.
Green onion. Dude, do it as make a bet with your client or something. You should do it. Hey, if you hit your goal, I'll drink it. If you miss it, you got to drink it.
I like that.
Well, this is the one time where having a high success rate is gonna suck.
Bro, I used to do that for my trainers, man. Like when they would smash goal, I would do stupid stuff like that. If it would motivate them to move across the line. I remember one year I told them if they hit goal, I'd let them shave my head into a mohawk and dye it pink, because I had one team member named Chaz, and as you can tell, Chaz had a mohawk. So they decided that when they hit, that they were, and this is back when I had hair. I know it's hard for y'all to believe, but I had hair once upon a time ago. Anyway, I let her shave my head and dye my mohawk pink, and that was kind of the turning point in that club of me kind of building that relationship. But I kind of had to all right, all y'all are mad at me. All right, I'll let y'all rally against me then. Y'all work together and do this, and you can have some fun at the boss's expense.
Love it.
Yeah, and she was fired up, dude. I as soon as I saw Chaz was like, yeah, you're getting a mohawk. I was like, fuck. And I knew she had some juicy clients, dude. She favor re-signed a couple. She's like, can you get 100? I know you got 50, but just do it. Like, all right. And she basically was like, I just did that so I could make you wear a mohawk, Jonathan. I was like, I'll take that. I'll take the bonus money too. Thanks.
Worth the mohawk.
Oh,
right.
Man. Cool. Well, dude, why don't we do this? Josh, why don't you land the plane for this episode, man? We've hit all the highs and lows. Why don't you read us out today and give the good word for our audience today paying attention?
Let's do it. So, wrapping this all up, if you like VR, if you like gross coffee, and if you like the Olympics, just drop a comment below. Let us know what you think. If you have some feedback to follow or anything you want us to talk about on this podcast, let us know. But don't forget to like, follow, and share. But more importantly, go get what you're worth.
Yeah. Damn good show.